Hi, this is Cheryl Mays from Rise and Shine CF, and I am here with Tara Hall of Inspired Solutions. I am so excited to bring this segment to you. This is the Author's Lane. This is a new opportunity for readers, potential readers, followers to actually get to know the person behind the book, to hear their inspiration, their motive of why they selected this, what this means to them. It's an opportunity for you to have an experience with the heart that put the words on paper. And I am so excited that we have authors that are interested in sharing this with you. They want you to go out, look for their book, find their book, read the book, love the book, and they're going to tell you about the book. This is not a book club, but you do have an opportunity to get some inspiration from the individual that actually put these words to print. And I am so excited that we have you, Miss Tara Hall.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, we are also Jack Canfield trainers, which is how I met Tara, is we are part of the mastermind team that we have together. So there are 5 of us, and we are part of our mastermind team. And so I'm going to let you introduce yourself to the audience. Just tell us who you are, what Inspired Solutions is all about, and then we'll get into the author's lane.
All right, sounds great. Thank you so much for having me on. And thank you to those out there who are catching this video and catching this feed. We appreciate you so much. And a little bit about myself. My name is Tara Hall. I'm the owner of Tara Hall Inspired Solutions, a training and development company where we work with individuals, businesses, communities, organizations around really up-leveling their personal and professional goals, whatever that might be for them. A lot of what I do is workshops, training on site, and getting into training online as well. And what I really love most is really being in the room with people and really just getting that inspiration and really seeing people have their aha moment right in real time. And for me, that's really my love, and that's kind of exactly why, I should say kind of, but it's exactly why I became a certified Canfield Success Principles trainer, just to learn additional skill sets to help people become the best versions of who they are. And for me, that's really the love of what I like to do. And I also do coaching as well, which is some business coaching, but also primarily my focus really is the professional development and mindset coaching.
Nice. And it's interesting when you have an opportunity to coach individuals and you get to see their performance improve. You get to see what it does for them, not only in their personal life, but in their professional life also.
Absolutely.
And then that has carried over into why we're here today, which is the author's lane, because you are the author of 5%, The Power of 5%. I wanted to get that title right. The Power of 5%, Success Lessons to Amplify Your Life.
Yes, yes.
So I am so excited to have you on to talk about that book. So tell us, where did that come from?
Where did the title come from?
The title, the inspiration behind the 5% of amplifying your life, what that does for an individual. Where did this stem from?
Okay. Well, it actually stems from, before I talk about that book, it actually stems from my first co-authored book, which is Phenomenal Women. And in that anthology, it was me and one of 13 other women who shared our stories about our own personal journeys. Some of the women in there shared about, their business journeys. Some shared about, situations in which they overcame some tragedy, some trauma in their life. And in the story that I share, the title is called Defining Moments in that anthology. So the behind my book is really the first story, which is where I kind of share with people some experiences I've had in regards to, how sometimes we have that desire to do something else and we're just not sure how to get there or what to do. And as a result of going to a professional conference, there was a series of activities that we did that really just kind of stopped me in my tracks. And that became like my defining moment to say, wow, Tara, there's so much more that you can do. you have the skills, you have the desire, what's holding you back? And I couldn't quite figure out what it was. And it was through those activities that we did, and very transformational activities, that I was able to kind of just unleash whatever mental block I could have had that just was in my way. And I'll tell you, like, so when I had that story come out and I was able to share just that one story in that anthology with so many other women, and built it in as part of my workshops, I saw like, oh my goodness, I had no idea like this one story would have such an impact on other people. And they're looking at me like, oh my goodness, like I see part of me in you. And, you know, it's like, whoa, you don't realize the power of your story and what impact it can really have on other people. So that was really like my first opportunity to take what I've been thinking about and put it in print, you know? And when I did that, the opportunity for me to just kind of learn and grow and get in other networks, where I said, well, you know, it's possible. Maybe I could write my own book. And it wasn't until I kind of had the evidence of doing that first anthology that it was possible for me, then I really began to see that a book really, really is possible. So it was that experience coupled with the certification in the Jack Canfield Success Principles that this is sort of what generated a bit of the title of the book for me, because in one of our success principles, he talks about taking personal responsibility for our lives and the equation of E plus R equals O, events plus response equals outcome. And I was really living that principle out loud, because it says, you know, in order to take 100% responsibility for your life, you can do it in increments, right? Because we can't, like, as I say, like, you can't eat the whole pie at one time. You kind of have to just, take a couple of slices, one slice at a time. And that 5% mindset and strategy is what I really applied to myself in the book. It's taking you on a bit of a journey of how did I become a person who was sort of living beneath her potential to a person who says, no, this is really possible for me. And I started to see the evidence that it was. And so that's where the title of the power of 5% came from, because there really is power in small micro wins, because you see yourself on the other side and you go, wow, like, and I look, and the fact that I can hold it in my hand and say that this is evidence that it's possible and it's doable is what keeps me fueled for actually my next one. So the subtitle, Success Lessons to Amplify Your Life, they really are moments in my life, moments in time that I took, and they became personal lessons. And at the end of each lesson in the book, I give a success tip for the reader to begin to apply to their life and thinking about their own story. So that's kind of where the title came from and what was behind the title and the journey.
Okay. It's amazing, because when you think about it, a lot of times people look for large goals and they're looking for that, they're looking for the ocean, and it's those incremental steps, to your point, the 5% of responsibility. Those are the things that allow us to know we can do it.
Yeah.
Let's stay focused and moving forward. Well, that is awesome. So I have some questions here that I'm just going to go through, because I think as a reader, I would want to know more about certain pieces of the book. And now that I have you, the author of the book here, I want to know some of those answers that I can't get just from reading the book. So you talked about the experiences that you've had that have actually led to this, to you writing this book, and actually saying that you were, I guess, underutilizing your skills and your talents, to actually now saying, okay, I'm going to take this extra 5%. And so how would you state your experience to that extra 5%? What is it that, just as a reader, you would want me to know that what 5% can do for you?
you know, what I would want the reader to follow along with me in the journey is that I'll take the one example of the conference that I went to back in 2017 in New York. And it was it was giving myself the permission to say, I'm going to go to this conference. I don't know who this woman is, you know, I don't know a whole lot about her. I know a little bit. I looked this person up online, and actually it happens to be Lisa Nichols. So if
Okay.
people aren't familiar with who she is, I'll just say Google her or go on YouTube, and you'll find all you need to know.
Yeah, and then you'll say the word wow.
Yeah, exactly. A very powerful woman and a coach, a transformational coach, and through her work, and she also actually studied and worked with Jack Canfield as well, interestingly too. And it was the moments, the activities, being in the room where you can really just reflect on things that have happened in your life or experiences that you've had, good, bad, or indifferent, and having a safe place and a safe space to say, I have to think about this a little bit more. But when you have that time to do that, because I think sometimes we're always just on to the next, on to the next. Sometimes we just have to kind of relish in the moments and the experiences and those defining moments that we have in our life, because they do mean a lot. And we have to be willing to just sit in that sometimes and think about all that it has offered us. You know, sometimes she's known for saying that at times, you know, we have these gifts. Sometimes they're wrapped in sandpaper. They're not the way that we really want them to be, but it is what it is. And what are we going to do with it? Do we let that define us, or do we say that was just a moment in time? So each of the lessons in the book and the 5%, it's what are those, as you said before, those incremental moments, those situations, those experiences. How do you define it? And what do you do with it? And I started to reframe how I thought about things, and that's the 5%. So there were the desire, right, to become a business owner. Something I wanted to do. You're a business owner, Cheryl, as well. So you know, right, that there's a lot that comes with that. Yeah, and sometimes you can think, oh, you know, is this really what I should be doing? And then you start taking these small incremental steps to get knowledge about what does it mean to become a business owner? What are the steps to become one? What are the things you have to file? How do you register for your taxes? How do you register the business name? Like, so all these things for me, when I say name these things off, this is the 5%. It's taking small incremental steps, and it becomes part of evidence for you that it's doable. And when you keep track of the things that you're doing, you can then see that, wow, these small things, these small pieces are really adding up to where I want to go. Where do I see myself going in the future? So that's the best way I can capture explaining what the 5% is, because part of it is how you define it, but the other part is, what do you do with it? What is the action behind it?
There you go. I was sharing earlier, it's the fact of having knowledge and then applying the knowledge is actually two different pieces. You can have the knowledge and not apply it, then it's not doing you any good. So it seems as though this book walks you through how to actually apply the knowledge so that you can see it. And I think it's a great opportunity for people to actually put it down on paper. So let me ask you this, as a writer, and this is a funny question, as a writer, who would you choose as your mascot? Would it be a mascot? It could be an avatar, it could be a spirit animal. Who would your mascot be?
I don't know if I'd have I don't know. I could tell you this. Maybe this is better, because I'm very much a visual person and I anchor things. And mine it's more like a symbol.
Okay.
If I could show you, but it's actually a symbol, and it's a stone.
Okay.
Which says courage on it. And this is actually my word for the year, which is playing off of last year's. Each word, each year, excuse me, I'll have a word for the year. So I like courage because it takes a lot of courage to do things that maybe you have not done before.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes courage to share. So each of the lessons in the book are part of my journey, and it's part of my story, and it takes courage to share those things with people. So that's not necessarily my avatar, but that's kind of how I anchor how I've been doing things.
I think it's a great way, and it fits so well with 5% more power. The power of 5% is having that courage to take those steps and to be able to move forward. And, you know, as people are looking now at always something that's going to help you, that's going to motivate you, that's going to jumpstart you. And it seems as though the power of 5% is one of those books, because it's also accountability in there. There's also a personal accountability method, which is what a lot of folks need also. So how long did it take you to write this book?
Well, how long it took me to write it was actually about 8 weeks.
Wow, okay.
About 8 weeks. I did have the assistance of a woman who coached me through the process. But no, it took me that long to write it. Now, I didn't release it until almost a year later, though.
Okay.
And that's because there's a lot of journey in between that, and I felt that there were also some additional things that I wanted to. I wasn't quite ready because I felt that there were some additional things. It was very early in the year when I finished it last year in 2019, and I'm into it, so I go by what was coming up for me, and I felt like there was just something that was missing, so I didn't rush to release it, and I waited. So,
you know, and that's so interesting with authors, because you know, folks think that because you hear so many different things. People say it takes 2 years to write a book. Some people say it takes 30 days. But this is like your child. This is your birth child. And, you know, just the thought of releasing it is something that, to your point, as life continues to show you things, you can, you know, you want to involve those, or you want to put those in because you've learned something new. And it's like, oh, wow. You know, I want to add this in too, because I think it would be beneficial. And then at some point you got to where you were at the point where you literally said, okay, I got to let this thing go.
Yeah. It was time to let the baby go. Yeah, it was definitely time for the baby to come on out. But you know, I every author that I've spoken to or have met, they all have such a different journey. And I think that's the beautiful part of becoming an author, is that everyone's experience is so different. And it's just like being an entrepreneur. Everyone's journey is very different, but that's the beauty of it.
That is. You know what, Tyra Hall, thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us the story behind the story. Where we actually get a chance to chat with you, find out where this story came from, and I think it's going to resonate with a lot of individuals. I am so excited. I've actually just ordered the book this morning, so great. I will be getting the book.
All right.
I'm going to send it to you because I want it signed, because I'm on your mastermind group and I want my book signed. So tell us, where can we get your book?
People can order it directly from my website, which is tarahallinspiredsolutions.com. Or they can also, if you order from my website, you will get a signed copy, an autographed copy of my book. If you also want to order off of Amazon, it's available on Amazon as well, in paperback as well as an ebook. So you can feel free to order from either place, but I prefer you might want a signed copy, because that, you know, I always like signed copied books, you know, from the author. So I'm hoping that you will get one as well.
Absolutely. And now that we've met you, why wouldn't you want a signed copy?
That's right.
That's right. I know her. I've heard her talk about her book. I feel connected.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it's one thing that I do think that happens sometimes to authors is you then get a little bit of the writing bugs, because I've already started an outline for my next one, actually just this week. So I plan on doing a series of books, and so that's why I think you should definitely get a copy of this first one and get it signed.
Absolutely, and then follow you, because you're on Facebook at, is it Jumpstart to Success? Is that your?
Jumpstart to Success is a closed Facebook group that I run, but I welcome people in if you would like a supportive environment of learning, of growing. We are a very diverse community, so we welcome people in where I do videos, and we all share. It's social learning, and it's a great way to get in a place and feel connected. And if you want to continue your personal journey to grow, that's one of the places. But you can find me on Facebook under Tara Hall Inspired Solutions. You can find me on LinkedIn under Tara D Hall, and you can find me on Instagram as well under Tara Hall. So you put my name in and you'll see the same picture of me pretty much everywhere for consistency.
There you go. And I'm also going to put it in the comment section. So anyone that is interested in following Miss Tara Hall, because she has some books coming out. So you definitely want to make sure you stay in touch with her, make sure that you know what she's got going on. And the great thing I think authors are looking for also is the ability to read a review. It's so important for us as authors when you have a reader that writes a review that you can then use for testimonials. You can use other readers look at your reviews to kind of see what everybody else is saying. So it's a great opportunity as a reader to also review your author's book and allow them to be able to use that. Tara Hall, thank you so much. I am so excited about the Author's Lane. I am so excited that you joined me and that you have an opportunity to share with individuals what your book is all about. The power of 5% is going to allow you to move forward incrementally, where you can have those milestones and you can celebrate that success. And then I am sure that Tara would love to hear about your success. So definitely join her on her Facebook page, where you can tell her about what it meant for you, what changes you had in your life. I think it's always great when you have a supportive group where you can say, hey, this is what I did because I took that step.
Absolutely. We welcome you and welcome you into the community Jumpstart to Success. And thank you so much, Cheryl. I think the Author's Lane is a great, great place for authors to be able to share. And, you know, there are a community of readers everywhere, online, offline, and, you know, book clubs. There's all kinds of things. So I'm grateful for this opportunity to be here to share.
Well, thank you so very much. I'm sure everyone enjoyed having that time with you. You have a fabulous evening, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Definitely go out, get The Power of 5% by Miss Tara Hall. There's what the book looks like, so you know you got the right one. It's available on Amazon and at her website, which I will put into the comments. So everyone have a fabulous day, and let's stay resilient, let's stay strong, and let's keep ourselves stimulated. Thank you.
Thank you.